What happens when karma comes full circle? A mother who once made life difficult for someone else is now asking for child support herself. But will the judge side with her or call her out? Stay tuned for this intense courtroom showdown.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Mrs. White, what brings you here today?
Well, Judge Bonda, nice to see you again. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Nice to see you too. And it's interesting to see you sitting on this side.
Yes, well.
With Mr. White?
Yes, Damien is here today. He's finally back from building that bridge.
Right, but it's interesting that you're here making a request because the last time you were here, his ex-wife was making a request for child support and you gave her such a hard time.
Well, you know, back then I was so blinded by love and a bunch of other things, and now
Isn't that ironic?
Dollar signs.
Yes.
All right, everyone, let's dive into another compelling child support case. Mrs. White steps forward, requesting financial support for her 2 children as she and Mr. White go through a divorce. Right away, the judge points out the irony. Mrs. White is now asking for child support after previously making things difficult for Mr. White's ex-wife. Acknowledging the twist of fate, Mrs. White admits that karma has finally caught up with her. This sets the stage for a fair yet intense courtroom discussion. Let's see how things unfold. Mrs. White presents her case to the court. She is requesting child support to help cover the $55,000 annual tuition for each of their 2 children who attend a prestigious school affiliated.
I believe that I have definitely learned my lesson and karma has definitely come around.
Okay, well, you said it, but continue. What brings you here?
So I would like to request child support for our 2 beautiful children.
Okay.
I cannot send them to school on my own. I don't want to pull them out. You know, they have their friends and they're doing so well, and I would hate to make them change schools.
Okay, and you said that you're paying tuition?
Yes.
Are you paying it or is Mr. White paying it?
Well, when we were together, we were paying it. But, you know, now that I have to find a new job and to subsequent the money that I no longer have coming in, I need his help.
Okay. All right. And how much is tuition?
Tuition is about $5,000 a year per child.
Okay. Per year?
Yes.
Okay. This better be a pretty great school.
Yeah. It's connected to Yale and Harvard.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So, how was the bridge? Because you definitely didn't show up for court the last time.
No, I did not, Your Honor.
Okay. So I'm guessing everything went well.
I'm a civil engineer, Your Honor, and I was in Italy for a conference, not the building of the Bridge of Gibraltar.
Oh, okay.
You must have lied to
Well,
me.
didn't know.
Apparently didn't know that there's a large step up from being housewife to employed.
Oh. I caught that. Continue.
So I'm currently paying the insurance for our children.
Okay. And how much is that?
$500?
$500. Okay. And that's for both children?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Continue.
Now,
with Yale and Harvard. She explains that managing these expenses alone has been challenging, especially as she transitions from being a stay-at-home mom to re-entering the workforce. The judge listens carefully, aware of the financial challenges that come with private education. Mrs. White also mentions that she is personally paying $500 a month for their children's health insurance. Tension begins to rise as Mr. White prepares to give his side of the story. Mr. White steps in, arguing that he shouldn't be responsible for the entire financial burden on his own. He reminds the court that he has been the sole provider, covering all of the children's
I
expenses.
don't understand exactly why my loving wife would think that in combination that we are paying for our children, considering I'm the only one that works. And quite frankly, she does not,
Okay.
and only spends.
That's not
Okay.
true. That's not true.
Ma'am, he's speaking. Okay. So you guys are going through a divorce. She now is getting ready to work because she's not working yet, right?
From what I'm told, Your Honor, yes.
Okay. And this tuition, is it accurate what she said?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. That's a pretty expensive school, but I mean, if, you know, it has its affiliations, I definitely understand. $500 for health insurance, and how many other children do you have?
Just the one other with my ex-wife.
Okay. And then you all have 2 together. All right. And I do have your child support amount. Giving you credit for the health insurance as well as credit for your other children. Your child support amount comes out to $1,391. Okay. Now let me explain to you how that affects you. You're definitely going to have to get a job.
Oh, I do have a job.
Well, you're definitely going to have to continue working that job, because if you notice, his child support is only about close to $1,400. You said tuition is about $5,000 a year per child.
Right.
So after he pays child support, he does not have to give you anything extra. You understand that?
Oh, I completely understand.
And you understand that you will be covering the difference.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you're okay with that?
Yes, Judge.
Including their health insurance, the judge asks more detailed questions about Mr. White's income and financial obligations, including his responsibilities to a child from his previous marriage. Mr. White stays calm and composed, while Mrs. White's frustration becomes increasingly.
Is there anything further? Sounds pretty straightforward to me.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything further?
Can I just let you know that I do have a legitimate job, okay? Like, I have my own hair care business. It's starting
I thought that was a question for me. Are you talking to him?
Well, I'm just letting both of you know that I do have a legitimate job.
Okay,
you
great.
know, and it's doing pretty
Congratulations.
well.
That is wonderful. Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Visible. As the discussion gets more heated, the judge remains focused on the facts, ready to deliver her ruling. The judge delivers her verdict after reviewing the financial information presented by both sides. She calculates Mr. White's child support obligation at $1,391 per month, taking into account health insurance and his responsibility to his other child. However, she explains that this amount covers basic support and won't be enough to cover the full $110,000 tuition for their 2 children. Mrs. White will need to contribute the remaining amount, and the judge emphasizes that she must continue working to help meet their children's needs. The ruling is balanced but firm, with the judge reinforcing the principle that parenting is a shared financial responsibility. As the case wraps up, the judge offers a final reminder. Child support is based on income, financial obligations, and shared duties. She encourages anyone in a similar situation to share their story, emphasizing that every decision made in court affects a child's future.